So now that we got that rigmarole out of the way, let's get straight to it. So, when it comes to these runs, we are now on attempt number 4. Well, I'm going to only try one run tonight, maybe 2 if it ends up being an early scoop and such. But the idea is to basically get there in one try, and by that I mean we only have well, this is not the page to go through. I can't really show it, but we only have 1 life for this run. We have to do it without dying once. And without all those hacks to really help us, well, here we are playing a run that makes things a lot harder for us, so the spire isn't trivial. So yeah. Okay. Excuse me. Choked on my own saliva. Okay, I should be good. Now, we usually get easier floors to start off with. We get usually 2 easy floors. Sometimes you get 3. And sometimes you just get 1. Sometimes you're given a hard floor as early as this floor. But if in case this game wants to hand us blue chips, let's get Squid Attack. Because at least with Squid Attack, you can use it as a means to damage the portals. You can damage the portals with just your main gun, just shoot at the portals and such. But with Squid Attack, you can also use that as an alternate means, and if you decide to build those chips that, garner the use of Squid Attack, well, let's just say you can really damage those portals something fierce. So yeah, this particular floor tends to spawn a lot of Accelerandos. That's the name of these particular gelatins. And usually they'll spawn a whole gaggle of gelatins of various types. It doesn't matter what, it's just, if it's a gelatin, it will spawn from there. Sometimes it's dependent on the floor. And if it's not a Portals game mode or floor, it's likely going to be spawning from Gushers. The very things that you've seen Goldies spawn right out of. At least with the Splatfest over, I don't have to worry about that. I think I want Lucky Chain Window because extending your opportunity for luck is pretty good. There are multiple types of excuse me. There are multiple types of chips, as you can no doubt tell. 6 types of them. 1 for each of the colors of the rainbow. The blue chip we got in the last one was that of a mobility chip. Its properties are all dependent on movement and such. Either it will increase the speed of your momentum, either gives you something based on your momentum, recover something also based on momentum and such, or builds up special because you're just moving. That's not exactly a good way to show off Squid Attack. There you go. As you saw right there, that's kind of how I was able to use Squid Attack. And let's just say that Accelerando just betrayed his comrade. Now, with Agent 4's palette, we do have a weapon that may not seem useful as a special against gelatins at first. But there's a different use for this one. Shoving. Yeah. You can use this completely for shoving. So, basically, if a situation ever gets ugly in this kind of game mode, and if you're playing with 0 hacks turned on like I am, your best course of action is to basically just find an opening and escape. However, if you don't have that opening, well, heaven, may the great, I'm Homestar Runner apparently. may the great Zapfish um, pray for your safety. Well, since no other, like I don't want to use drone chips since drone hacks are turned off, and we'd be very limited in what we can use for a drone. So that's why I tend to try to avoid drone chips for this mode specifically. So this particular floor is all about, well, explosions. It's called Explosion Festival Floor. And let's get that disc before it decides to take away our livelihood as well. Basically, you know what? Because of how much damage this does, this also does knockback. Wow. Man, I have neglected the squid attack a little too long because it's really good against portals. I'm not kidding. Also, these particular enemies, like if you see their little thing that they keep tossing, try to color it in before they fire it. And even if they do fire it, you can indeed color it in before it lands to make it your projectile. Ugh. I really don't like marching lentos. I really don't. The reason why for this being called the Explosion Festival Floor is simply because of these pufferfish. That one bullet is enough to make them blow up. So use that to your advantage when necessary. And the reason why I say when you have the Trizuka, use it as a shoving tool. Like, push come to shove, send them away. Because at the very least, if you use it as a shoving tool, you are pushing them away from you and giving them less of an opening to attack you. And believe me, when the Accelerandos spin, and it's always a pain when they do spin, well, they just, you don't want to be in the same pathway as they are, otherwise that's an instant critical stasis right there. Anywho, you know what, that actually, splash radius is really good for portals, because you can get it so that it's so big, you can actually hit the other portals with it. And if, say, you got Booyah Bomb, well, those Booyah Bombs cover an entire map. Oh, man. I didn't know how much knockback properties Squid Attack had. And Squid Surge, well, yes, Squid Surge 2 also has Squid Attack properties as well. So, orange chips are all about range and coverage. And one of those attributes is with whenever you're using, is like when, like, say, you see these little springs that this Spricato's left behind, they have a little bit more reach now because of splash radius. And the idea is that basically, like, it rewards you for coverage. It, like, it allows you to, have further reach and such. And it pairs well with chips like main damage distant. And you want to get range up chips that pair with main damage distant, because if your splatter shot, in my case, shoots further and you have main damage distant, those bullets going far are going to do more damage by comparison. I think a vending machine always spawns at floor 5, but I want the main damage close. If you don't have a lot of range up or anything, it's good to get main damage close, because if you're fighting close range, having that extra bit of damage will will mean a lot. And you can really get these things to start shredding enemies once you start building the damage. Red chips are power. The main gimmick with them is extremely obvious. Is when you equip them, your weapons do more damage, your explosions do more damage, and you can make your weapons fire faster. You can you can make things go you can make your weapons go faster, hit harder and such. And I'm in critical stasis because of that well-placed splat bomb. Yep, that's their way of that's the Mambo's way of attacking. Now, you can get the Mambos to get trapped in your ink, and when they do, they trudge along and take damage along so. I'm trying to find my words here, so forgive me. There are chips that actually increase the effectiveness of getting enemies stuck in your ink, such as sticky ink, hindrance damage, and poison ink. And let's just say, try to combo the three together and turn your ink into lava. Oy. Also, if you're wondering, Big Man won again. Let's see. Drone gauge charge, main damage distant. I want to get this if I had more, further reaching damage. Another thing to take note, I'll say this only for Splattershot Hackless, is depending on your chip composition is all dependent on what depends your ink color. Basically, when one chip is the most abundant chip of your entire palette, it means that that chip is going to be it means that that's your ink color for that's the color of your ink for the during your run. If another chip becomes more abundant, like another chip color does, and I jumped by accident, as you saw there, it was a habit. Like, if another chip color overtakes it, it will go from being the accented color to being the abundant color instead. It will go from the accented color to being the main color instead and such. Your second most abundant chip will be the accented color, and as of currently, if we look to our and that's not our collection. If we look to our collection, oranges are accented color, despite us having equal parts of both colors. Your second most abundant chip will be the accent, but if it overtakes your main color, the previously main color, for example yellow, will instead become the accented color. So yeah, I apologize if I'm not explaining things clearly. It's pretty late where I am. I rarely get time to record during the day, and I'm just basically trying to get back into things, trying to figure out what things I want to do after the trip and such. And boy, I do not like this floor. I do not like the rising ground floor. In ball pushing, you have to be careful of the marching lentos, because whenever they see the ball, they will prioritize the ball. If you ever lose the ball, try to find the lentos, you will find the ball. Because, basically, they play with the ball like puppies. They see a ball, they want to play with it and such, they'll nudge it around and push it away from the goal. Which, while cute at first, gets irritating quickly, because you want the ball to go to the goal, so the ankle biters can stop munching at your feet. Ink recovery rate for I've gotten this floor down to a science, so... this is gonna be a run killer. If I'm lucky, I'll win it. I'm probably I probably shouldn't try to do the hubris strat of trying to shoot the trying to do the squid roll, but I can try. Basically, this floor will always spawn adentes and such, and I'm surprised that worked. You want to guide them away from any other portals, and if they get too close to you, and they will, you want to find a way out and move there. And if they get too close to you, well, again, use any sort of means to get the heck out of there. Oh, oh, that could have been nasty. Disc piece drop. Wait for them to get over. Nope, you don't. Ugh. Like, it's called acrobatic triangular floor. They want you to use these dash pads as much as you can. And as you see, the aura showed up, so because of that aura, they will spawn more enemies to keep you on your toes, so it's not just get a certain wave done. But hey, it was a risk, and it paid off. Harder floors are less abundant here. There's like the rigorous floors, there's I think only 3. Certain floors will have multiple variations. Some will have 2 variations for 1 difficulty. And some may only have 1 variation, period. I want to save my money, so I'm going to get sticky ink to combo with my poison ink. And I have 2 of each chip, except for mobility. So, yeah. Okay, let's actually swim out of the way. Basically, if you see an opportunity to shoot at the portal, take it. But if they get too close, swim away. And sometimes, if you don't damage the portal enough, that portal will heal all of its damage. So yeah. Also, I waited for more of the gelatins to show up before shooting again. There's a reason why I say that in this game mode, the Inkzuka is more of a shoving tool than it is a attacking. It is for attacking and such. Because you can see it's not really doing that much to the portals anyway. And with that being said, we're actually already on the 10th floor, which means we're going to be facing the easier of the we're going to be facing the easy mode boss, at least easy compared to floor 20. Now, purple chips are all about support. They will give support depending on the situation, such as ink recovery, the pushback, and such. Back, maybe straightening your shots for more precise hits, or maybe even making your shots auto-aim. But of course, we have my least favorite boss, Pinging Marshall. I think it's called Marshall. It's the CIAL. I thought it was called Pinging Miracle for a while. Now, I usually complain about this boss taking a while to splat, and it does. But you can make it splat faster if you just make sure that you always aim at its weak points. Its weak points are always visible. invisible despite what the in-game text tells you. You don't have to like constantly hit the shell all day and hope that it does damage or make it hit the walls. In fact, that attack right there is the most dangerous in its third form, and you're going to be knocking this thing left, right, and sideways. It's a lot. This attack that it does is the spin dash, and in its harder variation, it will, like, it may even do multiple passes for the spin dash. And yes, I called it the spin dash. I called it the same attack as Sonic the Hedgehog, because that's essentially what it is. I mean, if you want to make the Metroid reference, you can call it Boost Ball. And the way to get it to stop doing the laser attack is to bump it into one of the bumpers at the cost of making enemies spawn. If you have any luck drops, this could be a good chance to get yourself some armor, some specials, maybe even a disc piece. But do not stand in the way of those shockwaves. There's a lot of shockwave damage in this particular DLC. Like, whenever enemies have shockwave elements, you be prepared, because there's there's a lot. Like, you have it, the enemies have it, and this is the laser attack in its most dangerous state. When it has a lot of these lasers, I'd say it'd be worth it to basically make it hit a bumper, like so. But because it stopped before I can make it hit the bumper, well, yeah. I'm not sure how good the squid attack is for bosses and such. I'm pretty sure it's good for like taking out lessers like these guys, but for taking out the boss and such, I'd say like if you have an opportunity to jump over a shockwave, do it. Like, you can squid roll over a shockwave. It looked very cool. And I took it out with a bomb. Sheesh, splash radius. Splash radius. It's very late, so my vernacular isn't my strong point right now. Splash radius is potent. Oh. I'd say we deserve a trip to the vending machine corner. And that's not really useful. This is not really useful to us. Drone ships are all about the drone. Like, I should at least touch upon it now. They give Pearl abilities. If you're doing Hackless, drone ships are not going to be very useful unless you need to use it. And unfortunately, the game decided, hey, speaking of drones, I bet you like drones. You want to use a chip that you're not going to use? Ugh. By the way, those vending machines are manufactured by Express, as you can tell from the logo. So yeah. Oh. Okay, so this is really good if you have Squid Attack on. You get additional damage with it. Main range sounds good, but I want this. Because red's our most abundant color now. Well, our main color is now going to be red, and yellow's our accented color. So yeah, might as well take additional speed. We can make our... let's not get too complacent here. We almost had the ankle biters put us in critical stasis. That would have been embarrassing. And now on the second tier floors, these floors I tend to have a lot of trouble on. And like, if it's not these floors, it's definitely the third tier. And, like, there are certain floors that, no matter which variation it is, it's nothing but trouble for me. I'm hoping that we get a danger floor that's in the darkness, so that way I have an excuse to play Crash Bandicoot music over it. So, yeah. If you gather a bunch of, okay, yeah, I think I want to use the special on that. Yeah, those are Noble Mentes. They can show up in earlier floors. There's a floor dedicated to them called Coverage Between Crosshairs, which I'm not going to do on this challenge. I'm going to do anything I can to avoid that floor. And there we go. And yeah, use that screen nuke. Get rid of the screen mooks. And I'm just gonna go towards the portal and such. This is an easy floor. Let's not get too haphazard with it. And you can see the can special drop is in our favor because there are 3 cans there. Anywho. Splash rate. Ah, dang it. I want this. I really do. I swear, this better be good if you're making me, pick it. Use the vending machine. I want this. Yeah. This is actually tempting. You can actually, like, this is a good alternative to the Splat Bomb, but I'll stick with what I have. I think yellow will be the main color again after this one. Like, if you see a chip that's really good and you have enough membucks, stock up. It will help you in the long run. Carefully aim reversal floor, rush attack. Yeah. Ink damage up, I'll take it. Red's gonna be our accented color for a bit. Oh, it's this floor. Oh, this floor sucks. This is a hard floor. Don't believe what the game tells you. Because you have to aim at these portals. And it's easier said than done. Like, you have to take out these accelerandos, because attempting to approach it normally, and while it is entirely possible, they can and will punish you for it. They will spawn lentos. And it sucks. I really don't like this floor, especially if there's like a chip I want from it, and I always keep forgetting which floor it is. So yeah, the more you get close, yeah, those lentos will start to spawn. This is like one of the few cases where like certain enemies will spawn if you decide to attempt to disobey what they want, what the gimmick is. It's probably the easiest time I ever had at that floor. Anywho, Ink Attack size sounds good. Hindrance damage sounds really good. I want hindrance damage. Hopefully it's a spectrum floor and not a challenge floor. And it really bothers me that they don't label them separately. Like, you might as well make the challenge floors danger floors that don't jump again. But at the very least, like, if in case a bonus challenge doesn't seem worth it, just don't do the challenge. You'll still get membucks anyway. It'll just be treated as like a normal, as a normal floor and such. And remember, just if you have a chance to get out of there safely, take that chance and such. Oh, yeah. And just like, if the challenge seems feasible, like at least on a floor like this, then do it. But if it's something that is just quintessential to surviving, you don't have to do it. Like, the game doesn't make it a requirement to have it so that if you want to pass this floor, you have to beat it without doing a certain thing. Like, at the very least, it's leaning on that front. So it's not like Sea Cucumber is part of the memver. Captain Sea Cucumber is part of the memverse, and they make you do the challenge, and if you don't do the challenge correctly, you just get a bomb strapped to your back, and it blows up because challenge failed, try again. Anyways, if you have a special ready, Use it on the checkpoints. It's a fast way of getting it across. Yeah. I really don't like Noble Mentes. If you see the word max there, it means that you got the highest possible amount for that challenge. I know I'm skipping over text, but I'm more so focused on the challenge and such. Ink attack size up. Unreasonable shelter. This might be a mistake, but I have splash radius up, so might as well give it a shot. Doing an all luck run is pretty interesting because it means like you could just always activate your specials and such. And the one thing you want to do for a floor like this is to essentially just like basically you don't want any gelatins from the lower floor getting on the tower. Now, this floor I have gotten consistent results from. It seems like drop rates for this floor are very forgiving, at least. But just, oh boy, I want that and this. It's a rigorous floor, but I have more consistent results than coverage between Crosshairs or Cruel Sisyphean 8 floor, which is a floor I'm not going to show on this challenge. No thank you. Yeah, no thank you on the danger floor either. If I can avoid any danger floors, I would. Sometimes, it's best to bite the bullet, but if it's not worth it, you can indeed go back to the elevator and choose a different floor. I mean, might as well take it. Red's my most abundant color again. If I don't do a floor, it will cost me. Stronger gelatins. I can deal with that. And because of my shot spread reduction, well, now you can see that my shots are now a bit more precise. Maxing it out means my shot spread is basically that of a Splash-O-Matic. It's because when you start, you basically have at least as much as shot spread as, say, a Splash Shot Junior, maybe even a Aerospray. But with shot spread reduction, you could basically just turn it into a Splash-O-Matic. Ooh. Okay, let's get out of there. That's... I think when the Noble Mentes get their pegs taken from them, they start to fire way more often. And let's just say these armor drops are coming in handy. Yeah. Yeah, I need an open shot just to get the last one. Because... there we go. Sometimes I wish you get bonuses for having armor at the end of a round. Anywho, now that floor out of the way, run speed up sounds pretty good. You can tell that the easy floors are nowhere to be seen, so we're gonna have to rely on our skills to get past. Onrush Sheltering Fortress floor. This floor I don't want to take my chances with, so I might as well take the run speed up. Like, be able to increase my mobility. There are certain challenge runs that you can do. You can do a rainbow challenge run where you have to equip certain chips in a certain order to make a rainbow. Oh, it's this floor. I can jam with this. So yeah, this particular floor. This particular floor is all about just dealing with these, with the mooks that will shoot these, shoot their splat bombs at you. If you have explosion knockback, you can just send them off the stage. And you can just color the bombs to make sure that they don't explode in their color. You can make them explode in yours. And the main issue with splat zones in this particular game mode is that you're going to be dealing with drizzlers that really like to color your splat zone or rather, like, they really want to turn your splat zones into theirs, and it's a really big inconvenience. And they look rather... I know they're probably based on a fish or something, but I'm not going to say it on this channel. Then again, I had swearing on this channel with my Games of Friends thing, so I don't know. I try to keep things at least PG-13 here. Now we're on the harder variant of parallel canon, where it's 2 for wave 1, 3 for wave 2, and 5 for wave 3. And sometimes they will start with a triple splashdown. And boy, are they nerve-wracking on this, on floor 20. Because you're essentially fighting other players. And if you're lucky, they shouldn't be too hard to deal with. Pearl will always point out where the parallel inklings are. And sometimes the parallel inklings will drop mooks, and if they do that, well, you can actually get some item drops from those mooks. So in case you lose armor, there's a chance that the mooks they drop can drop another piece of armor, and on the harder mode variant, well, you only get one armor piece drop to deal with. So they will carry any of the 11 weapon types. As for example, this one's carrying the Octobrush. This one is carrying, I believe, well, I have to look at it in post to see what it was. And this one seems to be carrying a Splash Shot, I believe? No, they're carrying the Luna Blaster. Yeah, that's the Order Blaster in this mode, the Luna Blaster. Ugh. Now I'm down to the wave of 5, which is illegal. It's 4v4, not 1v5. And this one did a splashdown again. Basically, you want to make sure that you don't get too close to them in a moment of weakness. Because getting too close to them, letting them get their explosions off on you, dropping your guard at the wrong moment, that's a surefire sign of getting set down a peg. Or down the entire tower in my case, because I only have one life. But fortunately for me, we are now on tier 3, which I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but hey. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Dang it. I want this, but I want to see what I can get from here. They always put this on there. I never even got to talk about the tiers theming. Like, the second tier of flooring is more aquatic-like, like in a museum or a swimming pool, while the first one is more factory and foyer-like. Yes. Might as well. Just being able to have more chances to lay down specials is good. Armor drop. That's not exactly what I want. Main ink coverage. Like, I can take care of this floor, but armor drop is something I want more. And I unintentionally created stairs. Like, doing the Hackless challenge is one of the more brutal challenges to do. Because you have to, because for me, because I have, like, because I have one life, I have to do this without dying once. Which is easier said than done. And for a floor like this, you have to deal with 5 of these things. And the most that this floor can, like a floor like this could have, is 6. And that's at the beginning of the floors. Now, if you ever find yourself in critical stasis and an armor drop happens, it will automatically heal you. Like, count your blessings. That's 2. Sometimes they will group up, and that could be their biggest downfall. Because if they group up, well, that could be a one-way ticket to splatting them all in one fell swoop. As you can tell, I think I took down 2 at once, or something. Shoot, where are they? Where are they? Where are they? Ugh. Try not to use... Nope, nope, nope. Oh, that almost ended so badly. Like, I think I was just one nudge away, and the armor reform saved me. You saw how close I was to biting it. Oh. If that's what I'm dealing with, that's not a good sign for me. Intense homing swarm gateway floor. Let's increase our attack speed further, shall we? So yeah, now that we have 2 fire speed ups, look at that. This particular floor brings back bad memories even on the easiest difficulties. Because we're starting to see way less easy floors. Like, there's like very few easy floors. I can only count like 1 or 2. And even some of the easier floors aren't exactly what you call a walk in the park, which you'll see in one of the outtakes when that goes up on my extra channel. Now, depending on how you want to structure your run, like, you can indeed choose to either make it like 90-something% hackless, like you can choose to have it so that only this many hacks are on, or something like that. Technically, mine would only count as 99% hackless, simply because I have 1 hack turned on, but it's a hack that punishes you should you lose. So, yeah. You just want to focus on escorting the tower, and you want to avoid this particular gelatin. I can't look at the moment, so I'm going to have to put the name on screen. It fires homing arpeggios, and arpeggios are the worst to deal with. Like, the worst. Like, they will aim in on you, and if you should drop your guard for 1 second, it's one quick way of entering critical stasis. Ooh. Oh. Oh. Sometimes the creatures will get a bit, shove them away. And there we go. Yeah. There's like 1 section of floors that I'm hoping I don't come across, even on the easier difficulties, because the middle section is the worst part to deal with. Dizzying, unstable bounce pad floor. You know what? Sure. I can deal with that one. If I know what floor this is, then I can definitely deal with it. Yep, it's this floor. Like, it's a bounce castle in a more office-like area. And the idea is that these, a lot of mooks will show up. They swarm you by a metric ton, so you need to be on the move. Just keep moving, and like, just move them away, from where you're, where you want to go, where you want the fire at. And just, when you have an open opportunity to attack, just take that opportunity and, just as long as you accomplish that goal, you'll be able to clear it, even if they get close to basically clapping you. You know what? I think this is a good time to use the vending machine. Surprisingly enough, I'm like this is the first I've gone without entering the 4th row Splat ink recovery. That sounds good. And I think I'm gonna want this. It's gonna take away my knockback, but with splash radius up, I think I want to have any sort of damage up if possible. So yeah. So yeah, ink recovery rate. Lucky chain window does sound good, but the problem is that I don't want to deal with that floor. Mobile drone gauge. Yeah, you know what? This floor. I think purple might take the accented color soon. I don't know. Oh, it's this floor. It's always this floor. Even on easy mode, this floor is not good. So, I hope you like moving. A lot. Just move a lot. Cover any sort of terrain you can. Because enemies are coming in by the handful. In fact, the spawners of those... Oh yeah, right. I don't have Trizuka anymore. I am so used to having Trizuka, sometimes even for the whole run. But yeah. Oh, and sometimes the gelatins can do that, which is annoying. Like, you know how sometimes the salmonids can jump? Guess what? Gelatins are just as guilty as that. You'll also be getting these lentos that are jockeys. Well, the lentos themselves aren't jockeys, but the gelatins on top of them are. And, yeah. Oh boy. You know what? I have super armor during that phase and such. If you have an open opportunity to actually attack with the Accelerando tops, take it. Just push the tops and run. Whew. As chaotic as that floor was, I did it. Oh man, let's just say switching Booyah Bomb might have been a good idea because I'm covering way more ground. Open season divided floor. Shelters, Nightmare Gateway floor, drone, springing, open season divided floor. This is a danger floor. Man, does the game not like my guts? The only floor that I can even consider doing. Oh good! Oh good! It's Crash Bandicoot! It's lights out and fumbling in the dark! Unfortunately for you, if you lose track of where the portals are, the portals actually have glow-in-the-dark lines that result in you getting easily munched. That's my fault. And again, I had another run where I failed on floor 27. I'll see you with attempt 5, probably tomorrow. That's a good way to die. Like, I'm not even mad. That was my fault entirely. Ugh.